Hello from the Bowling University studio at the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. Welcome to The Profit Break. If you're joining us for the first time, we're glad you're here. Give us 15 minutes and you'll be well on your way to improving yourself and your profitability. Are you among those who are wondering just what is a cutter merchandiser? What is the big deal with these anyways? And why is everybody talking about them? These are all great questions. So to answer these questions and more, we have with us today the Merchandising and Training Program Manager from our SmartBuy Partner Redemption Plus, Miss Megan Burtch. As the in-house merchandising and redemption merchandising education specialist, she is a perfect guest to help us solve the riddle. So Megan, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. We love having you here.
Oh, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Okay, jumping right in. Like I said, what is a cutter merchandiser?
Okay, well, a cutter is a giant merchandiser machine where your guests try to cut a string to win a prize. Cut to Win and Mega Prize were kind of the first ones to market, but they are coming out with more. Every manufacturer has their own. So there's Magic Cut, there's Skill Cut, Fantastic Prize, Fun Claw. There's all kinds of iterations of these. So I just want to preface this by saying I am not talking about any particular machine. I'm talking about the type as a whole, so we'll just call them cutters, so as not to reference a specific brand.
Okay, so it's kind of a style of machine.
Correct.
Than it is a brand of something. But what's the big deal about it? Up until the last maybe year or so, I haven't heard much about them.
Yeah, they have really exploded in popularity, especially post-COVID. The majority of customers we work with are putting them in their game room package, and existing operators are going back and adding them in to the mix. So they're very popular. I spoke with several operators and game distributors while preparing for this, and they're saying that they perform very well, usually in about the top 5 of all games in the game room.
So what makes it enticing to get to that high performance level?
I think something about the idea of getting a physically large prize, or the idea of it being a high-end prize. So many times those high-end prizes in the redemption room are thousands and thousands of tickets, and not all guests have the time or the patience to save up. So the thought that they could swipe their card a couple of times and win a huge prize, very enticing.
Well, you're talking about huge prizes. So what kind of prizes are you seeing people put into these?
I mean, you can be really creative. The sky's the limit. Kind of the obvious answer is oversized plush. So you can do a single plush, or you can bundle several pieces together to add value. For example, we're actually offering bundles of prizes that go together, bundles of plush. But you can do hard goods. You can do game consoles, laptops, tools, TVs, razor scooters, bikes. Anything physically large really works. And then the other thing, you can do tickets as a prize. So you could print out a really big ticket, put your logo on it. You could put together some kind of bundle of tickets. Anecdotally, adding tickets to a game tends to boost earnings and revenue. And then from what I've seen and heard, bundling multiple pieces together seems to be the way to go. So you could do a single piece of plush paired with a hard good, or you can do, all kinds of items, a plush with tickets. I had an operator share that they had 2 machines side by side. One had a single piece of plush, one had a bundle of plush. And in the same time period, the one with the bundle of plush received double the play. So something about having multiple items put together tends to really drive these games to be played. And you can be really thoughtful with those bundles. You can do a gaming bundle. I've got a picture here, the chair with the gaming accessories. You can do a Nerf bundle. You could theme it out for your local sports team with a camping chair or a jersey, a helmet. All kinds of things that you can put together to create a big value. So if you guys have any cool ideas, send me pictures. I love to see them.
Well, I have to say, you said that was a chair on that third piece of that slide there.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. So I admit, shows you how I'm not the gamer boy here. So now, with these really cool ideas of bundles and big ticket items and things like that, how can you leverage this to use it to market the game or your facility in general?
Okay. Well, winning a prize out of this is a big deal. It's a big value prize, so that's a great opportunity for you to use your social media. Take a picture with your guest. If they've got the big ticket, put your logo on it. You can put it out on your social, they can put it out on theirs, and it just draws attention in. And one of the things I always like to say is that winners make players. So seeing other guests win a prize will only drive them to come into your center because they also want to win too.
Well, I like that phrase, your logo on something that they're walking around with your logo on something.
Or they've got big picture holding their big giant, I won 10,000 tickets at Kelly's Fun Center, and that's just advertising.
Nice social media kind of a post too.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Okay, we'll get into a little nuts and bolts here because people want to know this. So how are people setting their payouts, if I could say it that way?
So there's not a hard and fast rule, and one thing you have to consider is the structure of the game. So most of these games are skill-based, but there is at least one iteration that is not. You got to be careful there because that can kind of blur the lines between arcade and gambling devices. But generally, crane and merchandiser payouts tend to be 20 to 25%. But if it's skill-based, it really just kind of depends on when somebody's able to actually get in there and cut that string. But the higher the value of the item in the machine, the more you'll want to charge. So if you have a single piece of plush, maybe you charge $2 for the game. If you've got tickets in there, maybe you charge $3. Or if you've got a big hard goods bundle with a gaming console, maybe you charge $5.
Okay, so you kind of hit some things. There's some iterations that are different and things. Is that some of the things that maybe a proprietor should take into consideration? So what are some of those things that proprietors should take in consideration when looking to purchase or place one of these into their facility? Placement
seems to be pretty important. You want to put this machine in a high visibility area. So maybe right when you walk in the door, or if you've got a really prominent place within the center of your game room. Another thing to consider is that you need it to be in the eye line of your staff. Because once the prize is won out of the game, it's offline. It can't be played again. The prize is driving the gameplay, so you have to have a prize in there. So you want it somewhere that your staff can have their eyes on and see, okay, something was won. Hopefully they're making a big deal out of it for that guest, but they need to be able to go and refill that machine instantly because otherwise it doesn't work for you. And then another thing to think about are your local laws and restrictions. Some places have restrictions on value that can be put in a machine. So Georgia, for example, $5. That's the limit on what you can put in a machine. So a machine like this may or may not be your best option. You just want to chat with your game distributor and kind of see what they have to say, as well as always checking your local restrictions.
I wouldn't even have thought about the local restrictions. Great add to that. Mm-hmm. Again, I actually took a breath when you said once it's won, there's nothing to play. You've got to be on top of that to get that game right back in there. Those are some great tips for all of our members to be looking at. If you want to learn more about anything pertaining to your game room redemption and merchandising, watch Megan on her own video series called Eyes on the Prize, highlighting new and trending products on the Redemption Plus YouTube channel, or you can contact her directly at the information on the screen. If you're ready to start improving your profitability, you can reach us at any time at education@bpaa.com. As we wrap up another edition of the Profit Break, remember that when your focus is on growing your people, people will grow your business. This episode, as well as all of our previous Profit Break episodes, are available 24/7 for you and your team at bowlinguniversity.net. Plus, new episodes are available every month. So mark your calendar, watch your mail, and join us on Facebook to hear about the latest episodes. Until then, I'm Kelly Bednar. Do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. See you next time.